Hello everyone and welcome to a new review of the fan manga Dragon Ball Kakumei. Last time we ended up reviewing up to chapter 8, so now we'll catch up with the rest of the chapters till chapter 10. Chapter 9, called On the Path of Awakening, starts on Krillin's house back on Earth, 1 month after the fight between Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien with the trio of Danger, where Pepperoni is telling 17 and 18 about his Shibot, the DNA-based robot of Universe 3 Supreme Kai, which he used to arrive to Universe 7, and how you have to wait a month in order to use it again. Preparing to activate the robot again, 17 and 18 say their goodbyes to their families when Mr. Boo and Hercule appeared. They went there on a request from the Major when the Shinbot turned on and blew all electronic devices on the town. Pepperoni asks who he is, and in the flashiest way Hercules answers that he is the strongest man in the world. Pepperoni mocks him, saying that he didn't even saw him in the Tournament of Power. When Hercules tries to brag about his ability, he is stopped by Sapphire, 17's son, who is mad at Hercules for almost hitting his sister, Crystal. 17's wife appears to calm him down, and when we get the information from Hercule that Crystal is a supermodel star. While all of this was happening, Boo starts to investigate the Shinbot. Not knowing what it was, he ended up eating it, which activated the machine and transported him to an unknown place since the machine coordinates were still not set before activation. The scene moves and we can see Boo in the demon realm with unknown fate. The scene moves back again to where we left Gohan back at chapter 7, surrounded by mafia leaders and armed guards. He throws the virus bottle into the air and saying they left him with no choice, he starts his attack. After defeating everyone in the building and almost dropping the bottle into the ground, Jiren and Dispo arrive at the scene. Finding Gohan okay and realizing everyone is out cold, they call the army who captured the whole mafia bosses and the guards. At that time, the rest of the Pride Troopers arrive, recognizing Gohan's success. On the mission, he is welcomed as the 82nd member of the Pride Trooper. The scene then moves to the celebration of Gohan's appointment as Pride Trooper. Dispo asks him to talk a little bit about himself. He tells the troopers about Goten, Chi-Chi, Videl, and Pan. Dispo is surprised that Gohan is married and has a kid, then proceeds to show him his family picture where it was revealed Dispo is the father of 12 kids. Dispo says this is the last letter, which leaves Gohan surprised and wondering if there were more letters. Suddenly, God of Destruction, Toppo, and Belmoth arrive at the scene. We move back to Planet Cryptid, where Goten and Trunks are continuing their training. Trunks is trying to reach the same door Goten did, since they believe now that's the only way to succeed in their training. Trunks focuses, and suddenly he is at the door. Goten reaches his own door, and they proceed to try to open them. On the reflection of the door, instead of seeing themselves, they can see Gotenks. They then realize it is not a reflection of each of them, but the other Saiyan. Gotenks sees Trunks, vice versa. They then open the door at the same time. Inside, there's Gotenks. They both realize that the demon they needed to face was Gotenks itself. When they fuse, they don't need to collaborate each other. Everything works automatically, and no further teamwork is required. What they must do is read each other without relying on fusion to progress. They then go back to their punching training, where they're synchronized perfectly and finally accomplish their task. And as soon they celebrate, they fall to the ground completely tired. Whis is happy to see his students' progress, but suddenly he looks into the sky and wonders if after several millenniums, Beerus has finally decided to go back. We then move to Beerus' planet, where Beerus is talking to the Oracle Fish, telling him to go to Earth since he will be leaving. The Oracle Fish wonders why he cannot go with Beerus, to which the god responds that where he is going is no place for the Oracle Fish. Beerus then changes to his formal god attire. The Oracle Fish is surprised to see him using that outfit. Beerus tells him that he will go back home, and that is the only moment where he uses it. The chapter ends with Beerus thinking that he will be back soon, father. Chapter 10 of Dragon Ball Kakumei, True Justice, starts at Planet Ginshi, which is on the border of Universe 6 and 7. where Beerus is flying and moving to some place. He arrives at to seem to be a tomb, and Champa is already there. Beerus asks Champa if he decided to come. Champa answers back that saying he's been waiting for him for a whole month. The tomb is where Beerus and Champa's fathers rest. They talk about how it's been over thousands of years since they were there and wonder how their father would have acted in their situation. The scene is then cut, and we are back to Planet Cryptid where Goten and Trunks have woken up. Whis then tells them that the second stage of their training is starting. They need to unlock their godly potential as it will be necessary for stage 3 of the training. With that said, Whis transferred them to Planet Lista, where it seems to be covered in water, then proceeds to generate 2 God Keys orbs and tells the duo of Saiyans to assimilate them. Whis then launches the orbs to them. These orbs enter Goten and Trunks' body. Suddenly, an agonizing pain starts. We can see both Trunks and Goten screaming and coughing up blood. Whis tells them that he should have probably warned them that besides Goku and Vegeta, no other mortal has survived those spears for several millions of years, and that it is a miracle that they are still conscious. Feeling a lot of pain, Goten wonders what they are supposed to do while Trunks screams he will be stronger than his father. They keep holding on for a little longer before collapsing to the ground. The God Key orbs leave their body. Whis starts to wonder if he overestimated them. A tired Goten asks if he meant to assimilate as to keep inside his body. Whis answers that is exactly what they should do. The scene moves to Planet Sadala where Vegeta is meditating, Kale is training Broly, and Caulifla is training with Kaba. At the moment, the king of Sadala arrives and Vegeta goes to talk to him. The king, accompanied by the robot guards, is received by Vegeta, who tells him that it appears that the king has started to come more often to see the training exercises and that the next step is to join them. The king, in a serious tone, asks Vegeta and his friends to leave the planet and orders his guard to attack. Vegeta easily handles the robots, but stops right when he is about to punch the king. Suddenly, the Sadala king hits Vegeta with a very strong punch to the face. The king tells Vegeta that he and his friends are traitors and continue to chase after Vegeta. The Saiyan Prince of Universe 7 is surprised by the strength of the king, but starts to fight back. The two Saiyan rulers attack each other with ki beams, creating a huge explosion. While the fight continues, Vegeta questions the king on why he hasn't been present at the 2 tournaments, Universe 6 versus Universe 7 and the Tournament of Power, and tells that the king should have protected his own. The fight continues and the punches from both sides are landed. Vegeta thinks that the king is predictable and is surprised by the knee feint, which was a punch to the face. The fight continues and Vegeta lands a powerful kick to the king's stomach. The king then grabs Vegeta and throws him to the ground. Vegeta flies back and then we have an amazing panel of the both Saiyan rulers clashing their heads. They both are sent out flying. The king of Sadala recovers and starts shooting ki barrages. At that moment, Vegeta starts to show what appears to be Ultra Instinct Saiyan and avoid every single hit. Suddenly, he thinks that it is the moment he turns himself into Super Saiyan. Witnessing the form, the king starts to having an attack and screams while covering his face. Vegeta stops and asks the king to finally explain why he hates the Super Saiyan form so much. On the ground, the whole Saiyan army was watching the combat and the talk had started to spread. Has Vegeta defeated the king? Confusion everywhere. The king then proceeds to tell his story to Vegeta. The night of Gurkint took the life of the previous king. The king of Sadala transformed into Super Saiyan but in a berserk state where he killed hundreds, including enemies and innocent people, women, children, and brothers in arms. That is the reason why he sees the form as a manifestation of evil. He thinks that a form such of hatred cannot be healthy and will drive everyone crazy. Vegeta answers that Kaba reached the form through a protected devotion, and what makes us who we are is not a simple form, but our actions are all too often those of which we are least proud of. He then closes his argument by saying that the Super Saiyan is a weapon like any other, the key to use it wisely. The Saiyan King wonders what made Vegeta change. He tells the king that he would like to say it was only his wife and children, but think it was thanks to the warrior greater than himself that helped them change. He extends his hand to the Sadala king, and with Goku's shadow behind Vegeta, the Universe 6 king releases his burden and joins hand with the Universe 7's prince. We end the chapter with a quick glimpse of Earth where Videl and Hercule are training. Hercule is now able to fly thanks to himself that he will bring Boo back. A panel of a new character that looks like a villain on Universe 14 and a huge explosion on Universe 0 leaves us with a question. Will they be ready in time to face a threat they cannot even imagine? This chapter closes the second volume. Be sure to keep checking when Volume 3 will start and come out, and leave your opinion on Dragon Ball Kakumei down in the comments below. And that is all for that video. Please subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed, and never miss any more videos like these by turning on notifications. I'm your host, Vro. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.